Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedreich's Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich's Ataxia, FA. Today we will talk about ataxia, weakness, and spasticity in FA. Usually, ataxia first affects the legs and torso, causing frequent tripping, poor performance in sports or just an unsteady walk. Balance and coordination continue to decline over time, and muscles in the legs become weak and easily fatigued, making it increasingly difficult to walk. Several years later, people with FA may have difficulty with speech, and their words might come out in a slow, jerky pattern. This problem, known as dysarthria, is caused by incoordination and weakness of the tongue and other facial muscles, not by an impairment of language skills or intellect. Someone with the typical form of FA might begin using a wheelchair anytime between 5 and 15 years after disease onset. Some people with FA also develop swallowing difficulties, which can allow food to enter the airway, and cause choking or respiratory infections. Many people with FA who've lost the ability to walk maintain their upper body strength and coordination for several years afterward. Later in the disease, ataxia and weakness of the arms and hands may interfere with the performing of fine manual tasks like writing or manipulating buttons and zippers. Spasticity, muscle tightness, is not an uncommon complaint of people with FA, and may be especially prominent in late-onset cases. This information was taken from MDA with their permission. Their link is provided in description. Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedreich's Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich's Ataxia, FA. Today we will talk about the against the odds impact that being rare has on my life. By Kendall Harvey. Friedreich's Ataxia, FA, is incredibly rare. So rare, in fact, that I'd never even heard of it before I was diagnosed with it in 2013. Getting that rare, 1 in 50,000 people diagnosis, given to an estimated 2,500 people in the United States, has had a huge impact on my mindset. I received this diagnosis after pursuing answers for some seemingly random neurological symptoms, specifically, worsening balance and coordination, fatigue, and weakness. How could I have a rare genetic disease that I'd never heard of, especially when everyone in my immediate and extended family is healthy? Even though I had no idea what secret path my DNA was harboring for my life, I always felt different, just like most developing and changing adolescents and young adults. Sometimes I felt different in a good way, like I was uniquely seeing things, other times my differences felt foreboding. I internalized a lot of my feelings about these differences and began to experience anxiety. When I would face adversity, such as a challenging scenario, health scare, or a dangerous situation, and my mind would conjure up the worst-case scenario, I would calm myself down by thinking through the odds. I would talk myself out of panic by reminding myself that odds are, that's not the case. Since my FA diagnosis, however, I've had a hard time calming my fears that way because I got the against the odds diagnosis. It's still so incredibly difficult to accept that FA is my reality, and then other times, I just feel so surrounded by FA, I forget that there was a time when I didn't even know FA existed. Accepting the impact of this diagnosis has been, and continues to be, a roller coaster. I sometimes feel like FA is my get-out-of-jail-free card because I'm already dealing with so much from FA that it's unlikely I'd face any other health hardship. But on the flip side, I think about how quickly my seemingly random neurological symptoms turned into a diagnosis that completely changed my life. If it happened before, it can certainly happen again. While most effects of receiving a life-altering diagnosis seem to be negative, there have been a few positive effects. For instance, I now fully believe in the power of being your own advocate. Even though the ear, nose, and throat doctor I first saw on my diagnostic journey dismissed my symptoms after discovering that they weren't related to my inner ear, I kept fighting for answers because I knew with every fiber of my being that something wasn't right. And even my adolescent anxieties prepared me to handle a diagnosis like FA. If I hadn't been so practiced in understanding my emotions and figuring out what made me feel different, I'd have given up my search for answers and just spiraled into fear and despair. I know that I'm rare, and I'm uniquely qualified to handle this life. I have my 4Fs. Feelings. I know the vital importance of acknowledging, naming, processing, and accepting the feelings that I experience in life. I'm far from perfect at it, but I strive to keep an updated inventory of my feelings to move forward productively in life. Friends. My friends encourage me, challenge me, accept me, and accommodate me. They make me feel normal, and then hold my hand through the moments when I wrestle with how abnormal I feel. Family. Not only are my parents the most encouraging, generous, kind, and supportive people on this earth, but my extended family is just as wonderful. Then there is my husband, Kyle, who is my favorite person I've ever met, and our 2 children, Brooks and Collins. They motivate me in ways they will never know, and I love them so much that I think my heart might explode sometimes. Faith. I know that my story will have a great ending and that it will be used for God's glory. I know that the troubles of this world are nothing compared to the joys of this world and heaven. I know that I can handle anything that is thrown at me because I'm never walking alone. Kendall Harvey is also an FA patient, and this information was taken from Team Kendall with their permission. The link is provided in description. Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedreich's Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich's Ataxia, FA. Today we will talk about skeletal abnormalities in FA. Certain skeletal abnormalities are common in FA. Many people experience inversion, inward turning, of the feet, and a little over half have pes cavus, a shortened foot with a high arch. For people who are still walking, these conditions can cause painful blisters and calluses. About 2/3 of people with FA develop curvature of the spine, or scoliosis, which can be painful and interfere with breathing by changing the shape of the chest cavity. These skeletal abnormalities probably occur because some muscles have weakened while others have remained strong, pulling the bones into abnormal positions. Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedreich's Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich's Ataxia, FA. Today we will talk about diabetes in FA. About 10% of people with FA have diabetes, and another 20% have a form of pre-diabetes called glucose intolerance. Both occur when the pancreas decreases its production of insulin, which helps the body store and utilize sugar, glucose. Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedreich's Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich's Ataxia, FA. Today we will talk about sensory impairment in FA. Loss of tactile, touch, sensation is a cardinal symptom of FA but is often detectable only through laboratory testing. Vibration sense and position sense, awareness of where the body is positioned in space, are impaired early in the disease, and perception of light touch, pain, and temperature may be affected later. Most people with FA also have reduced or absent leg reflexes, such as the knee-jerk reflex. In a small fraction of people, FA leads to hearing loss or visual impairment.